I first had this chai last year when my husband and I were on our annual trip to India. We were on a food tour with our friend and founder of Delhi Food Walks, Anubhav. He took us to this tea stall very close to my college and said that it was one of the best chais in Delhi. We had to try it, of course. I didn't know about this chai shop when I was in college, and I don't think they were around at that time. It's extremely popular with the residents of the neighborhood and the college students. To be honest, it was tough to get our cup because there were so many people eagerly waiting for their chai fix for the evening. When we finally got our order, it didn't disappoint and it was totally worth it. I was intrigued by their use of rose petals in the chai and wanted to recreate it at home. Fortunately, I had most of the ingredients in my pantry, so I decided to give it a try. I rewatched the videos we'd filmed at the chai shop and watched countless other videos so I could replicate each move and recreate that complex flavor I'd tasted. I had dried rose petals at home, so I decided to use them instead of fresh rose petals. I couldn't find fresh holy basil, so I used this holy basil tea that I found in my neighborhood grocery store. I'm sure it's not the same, but it's the closest thing I could find. Holy basil has a sweetness to it that regular basil doesn't, so I wouldn't use it as a replacement. What drew me to this tea is its floral nature. The rose petals, holy basil, and fennel combine to form this delicate floral flavor that perfectly balances the spiciness contributed by the black peppercorns, cloves, and fresh ginger. The thing I've learned about chai over years of drinking and making hundreds of cups is that you always need more tea leaves than you think. Especially for a chai like this, where it's made only with milk, the tea flavor needs to be prominent enough so it can stand out amongst all the other flavors. The fat in whole milk lends a silky texture that I thoroughly enjoy, but it can mute the other flavors, so don't be afraid to go bold with the spices and the tea leaves. A perfect cup of chai is one where you can taste the tea in the foreground with a hum of the spices in the background. The flavors truly shine when you add the right amount of sugar. It's almost like adding salt to your food. Most importantly, remember that the art of making and drinking chai is about enjoying the moment, being present, and taking pleasure in the small joys of life. Chai isn't just a drink, it's a way of life. It's what motivates people to get out of bed for a hard day of manual labor. It's what brings generations together. It's what allows for casual conversations with friendly strangers. And it's a major component of the warmth and hospitality that you experience when you step into an Indian household or travel to India. I hope this inspires you to make a cup of chai for yourself or someone you love. A good cup of chai is like flipping through an old photo album. It takes me back to my college days where chai signified a much-needed break from the monotony of back-to-back classes. I remember how we'd sprint to the college cafeteria as soon as class was over to be one of the first ones in line to get a freshly fried samosa. They were so good that they'd sell out in minutes, so a sense of urgency was needed if you wanted a samosa with your chai that day. It takes me back to the hot Delhi summers when we'd escaped the cool slopes of the Himalayas. The majestic mountains offered some respite from the intense heat and the busyness of the city. Drinking a warm cup of chai surrounded by the giant pine trees in the cool mountain breeze brought me so much joy. To this day, whenever I travel to the Himalayas, it brings tears to my eyes. tears of joy, tears of longing, and tears in awe of how transformative a simple activity like drinking chai surrounded by nature can be. It's something you must experience. It also takes me back to tea time at that house, the house I grew up in Kolkata, India. Tea time was an important tradition. Every evening around 5 p.m., each member of our joint family was summoned to the dining room to have a cup of tea, indulge in snacking, and catch up with the family. The conversations ranged from what the tea tasted like that day to home improvement projects, dinner menu for the next day, local politics, and sports, most of which was cricket. Does it taste like the one you had?
Identical. Better.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, very good.